Fighting robots represent probably one of the biggest challenges in engineering because there is no perfect design.
"40 robot fighting teams are about to take on one of the most intense engineering challenges in the world.
Advice I'd give to roboteers entering the arena is don't panic and try not to die.
To design, build and battle heavyweight fighting robots to compete for the ultimate prize.
Through chaotic group battles and fierce head-to-heads, new and veteran teams of robot engineers must push their reinforced war machines to the limits.
Their robots are harder, faster, stronger, designed for one thing: total destruction in pursuit of victory.
Welcome to Robot Wars, a battle of engineering brains and cold, hard machinery. 40 teams of families, friends, schools and colleges will put their designs to the test in our bulletproof arena.
And our amazing robots are more powerful than ever. Huge gas-powered flippers, terrifying blunt-edged axes, and spinners that spin over 200 miles per hour. So far, Aftershock, Eruption and Concussion have secured their place in the grand final.
The competition works like this. We start with 2 group battles. The 2 surviving robots from each group battle go on to the head-to-heads, where they'll fight against each other with 3 points for a win and 2 points for a judge's decision. The winner tonight will earn a place in the grand final.
Competing in our first group battle are Supernova, Frostbite, Wyrm and High Five. It's time to meet the teams.
Supernova, Spinner.
Last series, Supernova drove into the pit in their first battle as they struggled to control their spinning weapon. They're back, overhauled and upgraded with a 22-kilogram, 2,500 RPM spinning disc.
One of the features of Supernova is that it's a bit unpredictable when the disc hits. We've tried to make that better by putting more grip around the wheels so that when we hit something, at least we get some traction so we can recover quickly.
Give it up for Supernova!
Frostbite, Bar Spinner.
Frostbite is a new robot. Are this team of students going to teach the grown-ups a thing or two about fighting machines with their polycarbonate armour and spinning bar?
Team Frostbite.
Team Frostbite, yeah.
You're the teacher, right?
We've been working on this for about 6 months.
There's not that much protection between the hood and the motor, or the battery for that matter. Is that going to be problematic?
A secret weapon, maybe it's designed to fly off.
Will definitely be remembered, whether it be for winning or for losing fantastically.
Okay, good luck, Team Frostbite. Please, round of applause for the boys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Wyrm, lifting wedge.
Competing last year with their wooden robot Overdozer, the team from Falkirk are back. This time with a pusher robot equipped with armour-fronted scoop and motors from a disability scooter.
You've gone all metal, haven't you?
Yeah, well, there's some plastic on there as well.
Because is this generally supposed to be quite as open plan as it is?
We had to do a bit of weight loss, so our armour is minimal. But we think it'll do okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Wyrm.
High Five, Lifter Spinner.
High Five is a weapon designed to entangle spinners with interlocking fingers. It'll be up to the youngest members of the team, Riley and Daniel, to control the weapon.
High five. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
The wheels look pretty sturdy. Talk me through these.
The go-kart wheels, we're going to rough them up a bit more before we go in the arena.
So just score them for a bit of grip?
Yeah.
Fine. OK, well, listen, best of luck.
Thank you.
Our first battle pits 3 brand new robots and seasoned spinner Supernova, all competing for 2 available places in the head-to-heads. Over to you, Jonathan Pierce.
Thanks, Dara and Angela. The Roboteers are in the process of arming up in the arena. this series, not only do they have to watch out for their competitors, but also the arena hazards and the deadly house robots. And in this series, the house robots have gone rogue. If competitors press the arena tyre, the dial will either go left, releasing the pit, or will fall right, releasing the rogue house robots. They'll come screaming out of the corner patrol zones to inflict damage for 10 seconds anywhere in the arena. It's random, and it's an awesome new addition to the arena's arsenal. Each battle, 3 minutes. Unless a robot is counted out as immobile, is flipped out of the arena, or finds itself in the pit of doom. If the battle runs the full 3 minutes, it's up to our judges, Dr. Lucy Rogers, Professor Noel Sharkey, and Professor Sethu Vijayakumar, to decide a victor. And the teams are ready in the arena.
From Surrey, Supernova.
Completely rebuilt from last series, Supernova has a 22-kilo spinning disc that can spin at 2,500 RPM. Supernova's tyres have been redesigned to give greater traction on the arena floor by utilising bicycle tyre treads. It has four-wheel drive and is fully invertible.
From Bristol, High Five.
Team High Five say their robot can lift a lion or a vending machine. Their armour is rubber-mounted to avoid translating shock through the robot. Good idea. Their 11mm ground clearance, though, makes them very susceptible to flippers.
From Falkirk, Wyrm.
Wyrm has a 10mm thick hardened steel front wedge known as the Spinner Killer, which gives the robot the ability to take full frontal attacks from spinners. Their robot is four-wheel drive but can run on 2 wheels if needed. The Wyrm boys don't have a garage, shed or workshop, so they've had to make the majority of Wyrm in the street.
From Kingston upon Thames, Frostbite.
Frostbite was built for under £500 and its 5-kilo spinning bar has a top speed of 2,000 RPM. Frostbite powered by 2 12-volt car batteries powering that bedrock of Robot Wars, the mobility scooter motors. For the first time tonight, pushing and shoving his way around the arena, it's Shunt.
3, 2, 1.
Can Wyrm last longer than their previous machine Overdoser did in the last series? 23 seconds well on the attack there. Oh, goodness me, Supernova with an astonishing attack on Frostbite, full frontal, using the blade and ripping, shredding the 6mm polycarbonate armour of Frostbite. Very little movement in High Five after that initial attack by Wyrm. Wyrm, for some reason, has smashed into the arena sidewall.
Oh, great, you've just driven us into a wall.
And I think they've killed themselves. Who's moving out there? Well, we know Supernova is. We know, despite that damage, Frostbite is moving. Little life in High Five. Oh, a low point that for High Five. And another one from that 22-kilo new spinning disc of Supernova and the Valandran family. Very experienced roboteers. Wyrm immobilised, having slammed into the arena sidewall, I think. No life in High Five. Oh, and with the Wyrm turn, Shunt adding insult to injury there.
That didn't go well.
Just one last question for me. Frostbite or High Five? Who was active last? For me, High Five were immobilised. Frostbite still moving. That's the decision.
So much to learn from this particular event. Let's start with yourselves. You came here in the past with a wooden robot, and you lasted 23 seconds. Then you went home and you built a metal robot. And you lasted 10 seconds, plus 10 seconds to check you being immobilised. So you're actually shaving seconds off your time at this stage. My commiserations to Wyrm. This thing, this monster you've created, the hum of it.
Oh, it's definitely fearsome.
You're through. Congratulations. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Supernova!
Lads, not the longest fight in the world.
No, but we're still moving. The weapons still work. Wheels still work.
Yeah.
Lights are still on. So, yeah, we live to fight another day.
Group battle winners Supernova and Frostbite now enter a 2-hour repair period as they prep for their first head-to-heads. The fight to keep a robot in full working condition outside the arena can be as tough as the battles inside. Fortunately, Frostbite's damage appears to be mainly external.
Our robot's pretty big, so there's quite a lot of empty space. So when it hit it, it didn't actually knock out many of the electronics, or any.
And the other two were immobilised. So a bit of luck, that's what they say sometimes.
For the Supernova team, the hard work of their weapon overhaul has paid off. And after that confident performance, team captain Surin is relieved.
The robot worked as planned, to be honest. Everything worked on it, driving was okay as well. Yeah, there's a bit of damage to everyone else. There's very little damage here, so...
Our second group battle is between Crushtacean, Ironside 3, Pulsar and Apex.
Crushtacean, Grouper.
Can this crab team crusher help this father and son team get to grips with the competition?
Team Crushtacean, this is quite a beautiful robot. Who's driving?
I'm driving it.
You're a driver and operating the claws?
No, I'll be doing the
That's
claws.
you. Okay, so how does that work?
We've got these gloves that we use. They connect to the transmitter, and basically when I close my hands, the claws will close.
You'll be standing in the control room dancing.
Pretty much how I dance, yeah.
Round of applause for Crushtacean and the dancing.
Ironside 3, Bar Spinner.
Last series, problems with their self-rider ended their arena dreams. But they're back with an upgraded robot and a steely resolve to win.
We spent a lot of time and a lot of money on a lot of new motors, new gearbox designs and a few other bits, so it looks a bit shinier.
You have two weapons, as I see this stage. You have two different blades.
Yes, one we've got the grabber on, and we've got a bit more of a hammer end on the other blade.
The best of luck. Good to see you all back. Ladies and gentlemen, Ironside 3.
Apex, Spinner.
New and untested robot Apex is pushing spinner size to the limit with their huge hammer bar.
Team Apex, what weight is it?
The whole rotating mass, pulley, bar, everything, so you're looking at 37 kilos.
I mean, to put that in perspective, Carbides is 25,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so this is going to do some damage if it connects.
Yeah, definitely.
Good luck.
Pulsar, Drum Spinner.
It may look familiar, but the drum spinner of family team Pulsar has been completely redesigned. They showed so much promise last time. Can Pulsar now deliver?
You've made changes for this year, though?
It's a brand new robot.
Really?
It's a completely new build. Yeah, looks very similar, same idea. It's got a big drum.
Any extra bits and bobs added onto it?
Yes, we've got the self-righter now this
Now,
time.
you didn't have a self-rider
We didn't
last
have a
time.
self-rider, so hopefully if we do have a problem, we can just flip back up the right way.
Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing you in there. Ladies and give it up for Pulsar! Only here on Robot Wars will you see a fight between three huge spinners and a crab. With only 2 places up for grabs, teams will take no prisoners. So let's get started.
Thanks very much again to our pit professors, Dara and Angela, the teams in the second group battle tonight.
From Hale, Crushtacean.
Behind the power of Crushtacean's claws is 1,000 kilos of crush. Crushtacean's 6mm aluminium armour is covered in polyurethane paint, which the team hopes will protect it from spinners.
From Nottingham, Ironside 3.
This upgraded bot has an 18-kilo horizontal blade spinner, which has a tip speed of 1,500 RPM. The team have upgraded their self-righter, which they hope will flip them over in 2 seconds should they find themselves the wrong way up.
From Bristol, Apex.
Apex's spinning bar is truly huge at 35 kilos and it's over 1 metre long. The chassis of Apex is built from tough hardened steel up to 10 millimetres in places. Chris and Sam were on Team Foxit last series, which failed to win any fights, hoping for a bit more success this time.
From Shropshire, Pulsar.
Pulsar's been completely redesigned. The new, bigger 23-kilo drum does 8,700 RPM, which is the fastest in the competition, frightening. And these large brushless electric motors more commonly seen on large-scale drones. In the arena for this bout, it's Shunt.
Roboteers, stand by.
This could be all about the weight and power of Apex's huge bar, or that drum of Pulsar.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Ironside 3, faster, stronger, quicker than before. Pulsar with more consistent bite. The weaponry Crushtacean taking a hit there. The only robot covered in polyurethane paint, which is about to get a bit of a burnish. Oh, and a huge attack there! In came Pulsar! in underneath, Apex lifting it up in the air and stopping it. The bar is spinning, it's not anymore. Mighty, mighty attack there from Ironside 3 and Pulsar. And the others, I think, are out as we count down. Hugely impressive Ironside 3, very, very good. Apex and Crushtacean beaten.
Let me check my heartbeat. I'm at 98.
Pulses racing immediately. Pulsar and Ironside 3 ruthlessly efficient, killing Crushtacean there. And Apex done there by Pulsar. Pulsar and Ironside 3 through.
At the end, am I right in saying that you were a little bit crumpled though? There was a little bit of a ripple.
A little hatch. I think we're just catching it. It's probably just bowed.
It was not immaculate, but impressive. Not bad. You must be thrilled with that.
I am thrilled.
Yeah. That is. It's looking very, very smooth. Looking very, very comfortable. Got flipped at one stage.
Yep. Yeah. I drove over the flipper. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah. Why did you do that? Why did you?
It's really fast. We fixed the
Yeah,
drive.
it's actually really.
And it's got really little grip because it's got so much power. So it's just power sliding everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ironside and Pulsar. Give them a round of applause.
Victorious, Ironside 3 and Pulsar head back to the pits to begin working on their repairs. Big spinners often cause themselves damage due to the internal shock when hitting other robots. For Ironside, this could spell trouble.
The blade's just been catching on some of the couple of bolts.
I think it's just shifted the axle slightly, so the blade's leaning backwards. We were prepared for a new belt every 5. It's just like I say, it's getting to it. We'll take that out.
We'll take all the electronics out to get it out.
Pulsar must also begin the engineering puzzle of working at the cause of their robot's faults.
I'm just noticing now, though, I've got a problem. Because that motor's going round, you can see the belt will go round. This one's seized, locked up solid. So we have got some damage, and we don't know what it is yet. We've got to take it apart and have a look.
The group battles are over. Teams through to the next stage are Ironside 3, Pulsar, Supernova and Frostbite. Our first head-to-head is between Supernova and Frostbite.
Teams use their 2-hour repair window to not only fix, but also tailor their machines for the next fight. In preparation for the battle with spinner Supernova, Team Frostbite have added some extra protection.
We're just beefing up the robot, and we've now added 12mm polycarb on the back to protect all the wiring and everything.
Despite having a much more dangerous machine, Supernova aren't taking a victory here for granted.
So we've got Frostbite again. The robot's armoured with plastic, so in theory we should be okay, but you should never underestimate your opponent.
After last series, Surin knows all too well the dangers of driving such a powerful robot in the arena.
I'm Surin. This is our robot, Supernova. Supernova's robot with a spinning disc and is armoured with steel used on armoured tanks and is 4-wheel driven. The first series robot was Supernova's eliminated basically down to my poor driving. So Supernova this time around is different in that it's got a new, much stronger steel body and it's got a much more powerful weapon. Also known as the Disc of Doom. It's so hard, it'll cut through other robots like a knife through butter. You can't actually test the weapon because there's nowhere safe enough other than the arena. So I don't really know what's going to happen. So our combat strategy Supernova, with such a powerful weapon, is to go in and just tear them up. This year, this is our chance. I'm going all out.
Frostbite, full of wide-eyed optimism, must gain valuable fighting time and experience the hard way in the brutal environment of the arena.
We're a Team Frostbite from Kingston Grammar School, and our robot is called Frostbite. I'm Derek, I'm team captain, responsible for design and construction. Harry is our driver, Chris is branding, and Thomas is maintenance and repair. Team Frostbite has learned a whole new range of mechanical, gearing, electronic skills, including the construction and design of the body. It would be amazing to win Robot Wars. I don't think there's ever been a plastic robot costing less than £500 to have lifted the trophy. Team Frostbite, we cut through to the bone.
In the arena for this bout with absolutely no chill. It's Kill-A-Lot and Shunt.
3, 2, 1.
School Engineering Club teenagers against the Balendren family of Supernova. They've been building robots for 19 years. Up and over the floor flipper goes Frostbite. They need to stay out of trouble. They picked up damage in that first group battle, and Supernova whirling up the disc of doom, getting it up to full speed at 2,500 RPM. Shards of metal across the arena floor.
Okay, hit it from the side.
No, come on, not again!
They're still going. The lights stay bright, but there's no one at home. Oh dear. Supernova, look at the power of the weaponry. Once, twice, smithereens. Supernova, all power, but look at the chain there. Getting meshed up with the spinning blade. Will that cause some problems later on? Frostbite were cut to the bone. They didn't do any cutting. I'm afraid tonight the lights are going out for Frostbite.
We got a bit of a bodge job to do, lads.
A few repair jobs. Oh, now more repairs. Shunt, what are you doing? Cruel. Not the best of driving techniques early on. Maybe that caused some damage to their spinning bar. Certainly Supernova's spinning blade caused all the damage in the arena. That's where the chain came off.
This time, it's a very different story for Team Frostbite. The huge power of Supernova has torn their machine to pieces, even destroying the heart of the robot, its internal drive motors.
Supernova, they tore through the shell of the motor and they ripped out the main component in it. So this is pretty thick and they've just torn right through it.
Without drive motors, we're not going to be able to progress through, so not much we can really do about that one.
It could be the end of the road for Frostbite. Meanwhile, their opponent's damage is just to the chain that drives their huge spinning weapon.
Oh look, I can see a piece of the chain here actually. Yeah, wow. Chain's just exploded.
Due to the structural build of their robot, this could very easily have caused a huge lithium battery fire that could have destroyed their entire machine.
These batteries are very... they'll explode if they get hit, so that would have been a disaster, so we're very lucky.
The next head-to-head is between Ironside 3 and Pulsar, two teams with a point to prove. It was their fight last series that controversially put Ironside 3 out, so experienced roboteer Trevor is cautious.
I'm not quite sure how we're going to approach this one. Probably very slowly, very gingerly, very measured.
Team Pulsar are struggling to put their complicated robot back together. They're working with a high-voltage system, and in their haste, mistakes are being made. Peter has accidentally caused the high-energy battery to burn out their speed controller. They have to replace it before the battle, and they have a limited number of spares. It's time to head to the arena. Last series, their robot proved to be unreliable. Is history repeating itself with such a cutting-edge robot?
We are the Wyrm family from Shropshire, and our robot is Pulsar. The team is my parents and I supply robotics parts to the robotics industry. My dad's a music producer and my mum is a copywriter.
We're a very strong family unit, but it's Ellis who's the core of the robot team.
As long as we can remember, it's been his passion.
Building robots has taught me about engineering. Pulsar is a really low, sleek, compact machine that packs loads of power into a small space. Last series, Pulsar got into the top 6, we got into the final episode, and unfortunately we had one of those recurring electrical issues, so we never really got to show what Pulsar can do. I'm using high-performance brushless motors again, the same systems as before, although they're all kind of turned up to 11, and the whole machine is just absolutely ramped to the max. Pulsar is the most powerful robot I've ever built, and I feel sorry for anyone who has to fight it.
Undamaged, Ironside 3 were let down last series by their own self-writer. Back with a ramped-up robot and a point to prove, could this be their time?
Last year was a victim of circumstance, in my opinion.
Pulsar there, flipping Ironside 3 over.
This year, that's not going to happen when we're going to be knocking machines out. On the team, we have myself, Adam. I'm a production engineer. Trevor's the same, he's also a production engineer. Louise works in a school, and Patricia's a cook.
Last year, our self-righter was our Achilles heel. It was far too slow and took about 15 seconds to turn the machine over. This system should have us over in about 2 seconds flat.
Ironside 3 is one of the strongest robots in the competition. It's small and compact, so we can have thicker armour and take bigger hits.
So the compact design of Ironside allows the bar to be very big. What that means is the bar covers most of the robot, so you can come at it as almost any angle and we're going to hit you. All in all, we reflected on what was wrong last time and we put that right. And we're back, we're stronger, and at the minute we're not scared of anybody.
Ironside 3 against Pulsar. These two nemesis met last series. Ironside controversially missing out on a win last time. Now these second-generation machines go head-to-head again. Shunt in the arena for this battle. Beware his pneumatic axe and hardened steel bucket. Answer Killalot.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Off we go. Blade of Ironside. Ooh, nearly got themselves in a CPZ on the end of Shunt axe. And onto the floor flipper 2. You can see the power of the 18-kilo bar spinner. They've worked very hard on this machine, trying to improve. Down goes the pit release.
Turn the weapon off.
You can see Ellis there, this self-taught engineer at the control of Pulsar. Big hits, nearly into the grasp of Killalot. They need to get out of there, Pulsar. All the arena perils on display. Trying to get in underneath the bar and flip Ironside 3.
Smoke out one wheel.
Good tussle this. Very good tussle. Ironside 3 goes away to drive again. Pulsar around the side. Up over the floor flipper goes Ironside 3. Difficult to call this one at the moment.
He's got no weapon and you're the aggressor so far.
Who is the more aggressive according to the judges? Should it go to them? Which weapon is working? Just skirted the issue there. Oh, onto the flame pit goes Pulsar, driven there by Ironside 3. Good driving.
Lost drive on one side.
Okay.
They've got a problem with the drive on one side, Pulsar. They're still moving. As long as they can move out of their circumference, they'll be okay. They won't be deemed immobile, but they've got other troubles now. They're in the grip of Killalot. They're on the flame pit. He'll hold them there. The crowd want them in the pit. They need to self-right. They do so. So they're still moving. Just, as I said, as long as they can move out of their circumference, which they're doing. Ooh, onto the spinning bar of Ironside 3. Good battle, this.
We'll be killing that drive motor is the thing.
Last year, it took a controversial judge's decision to thwart Ironside 3. They want revenge.
Try spinning up the drum. I don't know what the damage is to the drum.
Ironside 3, the more aggressive. Don't think they caused too much damage. Barely a scratch on Pulsar. Ironside 3 spinning to win, they think.
He's counting down. 10, 9. Just keep moving, Adam.
As long as they keep moving, they should be okay. Pulsar.
3, 2, 1. He's been counted out.
Now, there seems to be confusion here. Ironside 3 think Pulsar's been counted out, but Pulsar is still mobile. Cease has not been called. The fight is still on.
Can't drive, got no drive on one side.
He's saying he can't drive. It doesn't matter if they can't go the way they want to go as long as they're moving beyond their circumference. Why isn't Ironside 3 coming in for the kill here? The match has gone to 3 minutes. Pulsar damaged, but still mobile.
Go to judges.
Yes.
Passions will rise high either side for this judge's decision. I would not want to be in their shoes. Well, that'll count against Ironside 3 for driving onto the floor flipper. Maybe a little bit of damage to the bar, I don't think so. Oh, it might be there though. They were aggressive. But they weren't causing too much damage on Pulsar. Pulsar were able to come in and shove Ironside 3 around until I think one of their motors burns out there. You can see the smoke. That could count against them. But Ironside 3, even though Pulsar took damage from Kilolot, was strangely inhibited, and they didn't come in for the kill. They stayed off, and that negativity will count against them because Pulsar was still active there.
Any battle that goes to a judge's decision is played back for Lucy, Seitu and Noel to review before making a final judgment. In this case, however, there's an added complication involving the judge's countdown clock.
I'm just going to check the words of the rules.
The complication is that Ironside saw on their countdown screen that we had been counted out, although cease was never actually called. So that means the countdown never actually happened, it never went through.
So they backed off.
So they backed off. So there's just a little bit of confusion there.
Ironside believed they'd won due to the immobilization clock counting Pulsar out. Pulsar also felt they'd done enough to win the fight by a judge's decision. Head Judge Noel goes to explain and offer his ruling.
Now I've gone to the gallery and reviewed the footage because I pressed the button and it cancelled on our screen the countdown, but I've been up there and you got countdown continued through.
Yes,
so it wasn't fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to award both teams 2 points. Okay. Is that fair?
We're happy with that.
Okay.
Happy with that compromise, the team set about repairs for the next round.
After the first 2 head-to-heads, the leaderboard looks like this. Supernova have 3 points, Pulsar and Ironside 3 are both on 2, and Frostbite is yet to score. Up next, it's Supernova versus Pulsar.
Team Supernova spent their repair time working out how to tame the volatile behaviour of their weapon chain.
So the disc on Supernova, there's a sprocket that's attached to it, and basically in the last fight it was damaged. It basically vibrates up and down by a couple of millimeters. At low speed, that's fine, but at 3,000 RPM, that potentially could throw the chain, or it could completely obliterate the sprocket.
The team tensely make their final assembly in preparation for the fight.
Pulsar's small but powerful brushless motors aren't holding up to the rigours of battle. The machine has to be stripped, reassembled, and the electronic speed controllers replaced for this fight.
The problem is I've been struggling to replace the damaged part, and everything's not going quite to plan. So I'm just bodging it now. I'm using the wrong kind of motor just to get it together, and we just need to get in the arena. That's our goal. We've just got to get in there.
Sitting at the top of the table, Supernova know that a victory here will give them a commanding lead. For Team Pulsar, the race to be ready in time means they're heading into a crucial battle, untested and unprepared. So batten down the hatches and take it away, Jonathan.
The house robot in the arena for this bout. It's King of the Rings, Kilolot and Shunt. All rust in pieces, love it, love it. Pulsar against Supernova. Which of these problematic machines will love this one, though?
Activate.
Supernova, spin to win or spin yourselves into the bin. They've got to be careful. Pulsar, what a hit that is! Wow! But I think the velocity, the power of the hit. Oh no, I thought they were out. They thought they were out. What a slam! Bam! Thank you, ma'am, that was.
The disc not working.
Neither of them are.
I don't think either weapon is working. It's a little bit of a kiss and caress now. A bit of a nudge around the arena.
Hopefully it's just our chain that fell off.
No drive.
I can't see any life whatsoever in Supernova. A little waggle of the soft righting mechanism. Pulsar just wins it.
That was one almighty explosion.
Look at the power of this. Oh, drum against spinning blade. Nothing humdrum about that drum. Bang! And Supernova was flipped and spun right across the arena.
Team Pulsar get the knockout and 3 points. But victory came at a price.
It's going to be big damage. You can see the massive gash across the front of the drum, which the drum is going round but then seizes here.
Yes, it does.
And we don't know why yet.
Supernova's hardened outer chassis is hiding a huge amount of internal damage.
You know, last fight, the front sprocket on the disc was damaged, and we tried to hammer it flat. It looks like what's happened is that we hammered it flat, but it wasn't good enough. So that's thrown the chain off, and the chain's then pulled the motor, which drives the weapon, out of its mounting point, and it's just jammed everything up.
Unsurprisingly, after a head-on hit like that, both teams now have a big repair job on their hands. A perfect time to find out just how to go about making a fighting robot, with Judge Dr. Lucy Rogers.
If I wanted to build a robot, like what we've been seeing, if I wanted to build one, where do I start?
Well, choosing the materials is really, really important.
Okay.
Here we've got HDPE, high-density polyethylene. It's what jellyfish was made out of.
Right.
It's breadboard. This is a cutting board. Very good at absorbing energy.
Oh, bouncy.
See how bouncy it was?
Yeah. So against an axe, that works really, really well. Against a spinner.
It's a plastic.
Okay.
It's going to melt.
Look, it nearly went through it completely.
Yeah.
Wood.
It's useless in the arena, but
good for prototypes.
Yeah.
Okay, this one.
This is aluminium.
Right.
For a metal, it's soft. It's cheap and light, but you'll probably use it inside for holding some of the structures. This one is mild steel.
Yeah.
If you can't afford the hard ox, which is expensive,
you go for this.
You go for this. Hard ox armor is being made out of this.
Okay, and they make tanks out of this too, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we've been seeing when we've got the little firework display.
Yeah.
But not much damage. It's just superficial, really, isn't it?
The best thing against a spinner seems to be the hard ox.
Yeah.
Against a hammer, HDPE.
If you were going to build a robot, which would you make it out of?
A combination of these two, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a winning combo.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lucy.
Okay.
That was great.
Putting Lucy's lessons to the acid test will be our next teams. The plastic casing of Frostbite against the hardened steel of Ironside 3. Ironside 3 are battling to repair their heavyweight machine in time. Team Frostbite, faced with a huge task after being effectively dismantled by Supernova, have thrown in the towel.
We could have had an easier route to the final, which would have been nice. We didn't. We faced some really tough opponents. But it's his Robot Wars. We came, we saw, and we exploded.
Yeah, into millions of icicles.
With Frostbite sadly out, that leaves a space for a team to re-enter the competition. In third place this time, that opportunity falls to rank outsiders, Wyrm. The team from Falkirk, whose only damage was caused by driving themselves into the wall.
My name's Nicholas White, I'm from Falkirk, and our robot is called Wyrm. Wyrm is a four-wheel drive push bot. We've taken design inspiration from reptiles and dragons. We're all friends. I met Finn at university, and through him I met Jonathan. So after Overdoser went home in the bin bag, we immediately started working on the second robot. The main differences between Wyrm and Overdoser is that it's not made of wood, it has a much lower ground clearance, and it's got a heavily armoured front that shouldn't bend this time. So this is where we're building Wyrm. Many people have a cosy and comfortable workshop to work in. We don't. We have a street. Our robot stands out from the fact that it's designed to be made with the minimum amount of tools. As long as you've got an angle grinder, a drill, and a welder, you can build one of our robots. If we can do it, you can do it.
Their first robot was wooden. This one is metal, but with no armour to protect them, can Wyrm beat the odds to mount a victorious campaign at this late stage?
Ironside 3 now sit in third place, so need a decisive victory to remain in contention. Have they fixed their weapon in time to bury the dreams of Wyrm? It's over to you, Jonathan.
750 kilos of Sir Killalot in the arena for this bout. And shunt.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
It'd be nice for Wyrm to win here. Now they understand you can't take timber into the arena. Learn your lessons, Wyrm. Stay away from Ironside 3's bar, because Wyrm's armament is limited. On top, vulnerable there, straight away. In comes Shunt. Can Wyrm move? trying. Not going to last.
That's a wheel off, but he's still going.
I guess my welding wasn't up to scratch.
It certainly wasn't. Bits of worm are all over the arena floor. Ironside 3 comes in for another attack. They're not going to hang about here. It's bash, bash, bash. They don't want this to go to the judge's decision, that's for certain. Oh, but they've got themselves trapped there.
Reverse, reverse,
I
reverse.
can't, I'm stuck.
Have they stopped? They need to reverse. They need to get out of that. Between a rock and a hard place, and they do.
Hit him again.
And they'll come in for one more attack here. Off goes a wheel.
Oh, there goes the other wheel.
They don't want to leave this to doubt. Ironside 3. Wyrm are finished now. Wyrm are finished.
Well done, boys. You did well.
How well did they do? Well, off goes part of Wyrm. Ironside 3 bouncing around. Adam Lewis, a man called Ironside, causing all the damage in the controls there.
Right, how did that work out? The first thing to go was your battering ram protection, and then they just picked you off tyre by tyre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how much work would it take to get it back in again?
I'm not sure. It's mostly welding work, so it's actually the hands of the welders.
And a lot of it's involving a dustpan and brush and picking up tyres, because you have stripped it all away, yeah. My commiserations, but I think it was a long shot for them. That was fun. Did you enjoy that?
We did enjoy that. We didn't know how well they could take a head on, and we didn't quite hit them head on. We sort of got round the saddle a little bit.
I mean, you went back a couple of times too often, I feel. There was at least one little nibble you took, just, I think, therapeutically for yourself.
He's got the other side. Is okay. So hopefully just working on one side isn't too bad.
Yes, it's good. So at the end of that, I'm afraid you've not made any dent yet so far with any points at all. But you have. You got 3 points. Let's see what that does to the table. A straightforward victory for Ironside 3 puts them level with Pulsar at the top of the table. But every hit they make with the spinner damages their weapon's drive belt, putting it under more strain.
See if the belt repair works, and if it does.
There are design issues that I think we would like to change, but we can't change them now. We've got what we've got.
The damage for Team Wyrm is more comprehensive.
Ironside 3 caused a little case of spontaneous, unplanned disassembly on specifically this side of the robot, with all the finesse of an angry badger. And Sir Killalot kindly added to it by removing the wheel from this side.
If and when Team Wyrm rebuild their machine, they'll face top of the table Pulsar.
Team Pulsar have managed to realign their drum so it can spin freely, but in every battle their high-power brushless drive burns out components that all need to be replaced before they go back in the arena. If they're unable to do so in the allotted time, they'd be forced to forfeit their next battle, leave the competition, and Wyrm will be awarded the full 3 points.
What? Well, forward is backwards.
How can forwards be backwards when we haven't changed any of the lighting?
Meanwhile, Team Wyrm have hit an unusual snag. The good news is they've repaired their robot. The bad news is they've done it backwards.
I'm just going to flip the transmitter and drive it like that, upside down, because then that's the right way.
Yet again, Pulsar have worked up to the wire, replacing burnt-out components. Wyrm, in their new upside-down configuration, are also ready to go. So, Jonathan, expect the unexpected.
Thanks very much. For the first time tonight, with its clamping jaws and vertical saws in the arena, it's Dead Metal. And Matilda, flying like a butterfly, stinging like a 350-kilo robot Triceratops.
3, 2, 1.
Nick and the Wyrm team believe robots can be upcycled, and many elements of Wyrm have come from scrap, and they could be heading back to the scrap yard unless they can stay out of reach of that Pulsar drum.
That's the built stuff, yes, it's gone.
But we've got smoke pouring from Pulsar. We know the sparks as well, I think. We know they've had problems with that drive system, and this could be a mighty upset here. But of course, Wyrm need to get away from Dead Metal in that CPZ as Pulsar waits patiently. Pulsar drives away.
We can't drive because the wheels are off the ground because the wedge is underneath the wheels.
Wyrm can't get away. You can just hear them there. They're wedged on, or they were wedged onto dead metal. Now they're on the flame pit. Toasted Wyrm, and he went, ooh, that sounds disgusting. Pulsar with the new little Shreemet. The crowd love that.
They're counting down. They're counting down. You keep moving, Ellis.
Again, the instructions from Tara to Ellis. Keep moving, keep moving. The drum moves, but very little else. This is interesting.
One side drive gone.
Self-rider's gone, drummer's gone, one side driver's gone.
But the hope's gone. Well, you can see there the drive smoking. Wyrm in peril and damaged by the house robot onto the flame pit. Balls will count against them. Pulsar active the longest. They stay in, but they're weak.
After a spirited performance, Wyrm are out. But being given a second chance has made the team hopeful for the future.
First time we had a wooden robot. This time we've had a metal robot. Next time we're going to have a winning robot.
After our penultimate head-to-head, here's what the leaderboard looks like. That victory from Pulsar means that they have 8 points and are through to tonight's final. Ironside 3 are on 5 points. Supernova on 3. And sadly, Wyrm on 0 points are out. So it all comes down to our final head-to-head between Supernova and Ironside 3.
Supernova need all 3 points to progress. Ironside only need avoid defeat here to go through to the final. Such a crucial battle couldn't have come at a worse time for Supernova. With their robot still suffering from that full impact hit with finalists Pulsar, team captain Surin has real concerns.
We're in a bit of trouble because the last impact damaged Supernova quite badly. It was never really designed to take a vertical hit, so we've damaged the bearings and we've damaged some of the motors. We managed to repair the motors, so it's a fair amount of work to do. We're not sure if we can get it done in time, but we'll give it our best shot.
The brutal damage caused by these machines is taking its toll, and their competition, Ironside 3, aren't in much better shape.
We just found a broken gearbox again. Motors started to come loose on the front casting again, so we're just swapping that out for the last spare. We've not got any left now.
At stake for both teams is a place in the final and the chance of becoming the new Robot Wars champion. They've done all they can. Their fate now rests on the next 3 minutes in the arena.
Well, Ironside, you have to beat them, you know, because it comes down to a straight fight between the two of you.
Yep.
So what are you going to do?
Not sure yet. We're going to see how much mobility they have. They was in pieces like we were.
Yeah.
We're pretty happy that the machine's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's not overly healthy, but we need to get through unscathed if possible.
Are you confident? Because you seem slightly nervous at the moment.
I think we're all right. We're just thinking everything through, and we'll have a look when we sort of move up to the arrows, see how everybody's sort of looking, and go from there.
The best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Ironside 3.
They're keeping their cards close to their chests.
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to do the same?
We've sustained a lot of damage from the Pulsar fight.
Yeah.
Replaced 2 motors. You know, a lot of work's gone into getting it back and running, but we don't know how well it's going to work.
I mean, what actually happens when those 2 spinners hit?
Well, that's the thing, because their spinner is actually slightly higher than ours, but then it's slightly bigger. So it's like a boxer with a longer arm. Okay. So they can hit us before we can hit them. So,
right, okay. But sometimes the little guy gets it.
Sometimes.
Right, give it up, please, for Supernova.
In the arena for this bout, it's Chunt and Sikililot.
Roboteers, stand by.
A place in the final for the winner here. 2 giant spinners. The carnage could be colossal. We hope.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Have Supernova's problems left it? Death Star. Ironside 3, drive problems. Both of them using spares. Ironside 3's blade there. Trying to get up to speed.
Lost the wheel.
Supernova's spinner already up to full speed.
Get the wheel, get the wheels.
Louise is saying go after the wheels of Supernova. Ironside 3 using tactics then to disarm Supernova, and it's certainly working. They go the other side and hit that wheel. Well on top here.
You're all right, Supernova. One wheel's gone.
One wheel has gone, And it's Supernova's wheel that's gone. But it's Ironside 3 on top here. Supernova about to descend into a deep black hole, I think. In goes Shunt. Supernova taking lots of damage now. Just about cling on. The chain is gone. You can see bits of the chain there catching again in the spinning blade. It's been a problem throughout. Supernova beaten Ironside 3 through. Oh, and a good battle right from that first slam. We thought it would be. Certainly Ironside the more adventurous. You can see sparks coming off. There's the chain. Starts to go wrong inside Supernova. You can see it there. Major peril. Over and out.
The chain design ultimately proved fatal for Team Supernova, and after initially leading the competition, they're now out. But their resolve is still strong.
So it's a war. This time we might have lost, but next time we'll be back stronger to do more damage.
For Team Ironside 3, however, their hard work and cautious approach has paid off. They'll now meet arch rivals Pulsar in tonight's final, but there's still a lot of work to do.
We've had some brutal fights and she's showing it. Oh, the belt's actually turned around. The pulley's that damaged, we can't repair it here. We need a lathe, so we just have to go in and fight the good fight.
So it's a problem within the new...
Meanwhile, fellow finalists Pulsar have burnt their way through all their spare speed controllers. They've reached the final, but may be unable to enter a working robot.
We were very, very close. The sides are on. The wedge can go on in just a few minutes, then it was tops. But then we've just gone to test it, having done the reassembly, and we found the fault with this motor, and there's just not enough time.
Then Ellis has a brainwave.
Hang on a minute. That VSC, you're wrong, but it would spin the motor. I don't even know if it will spin it. It's set up for a completely different kind of motor.
Yeah. If they can repurpose their self-righter, they could still make it to the final. But that's a big if.
Whether or not that will work, who knows? Go again.
Power light. Up. Turning on, ready to unlink.
The motor works and Team Pulsar are back in the competition. We have a final. Whatever the outcome between these two massive spinners, they've both proved themselves in the pits as worthy finalists.
This heat has truly been the battle of the spinners. The head-to-heads were a violent display of stored kinetic carnage. Our finalists tonight are Pulsar and Ironside 3. Ironside 3 came up short last time, so entered this series ready to prove their machine was a real contender. In an eerie reminder of their first meeting, the battle with Pulsar was mired with controversy. Fight after fight, they've dealt with the huge amount of self-damaging energy from their own weapon.
We've had some brutal fights and she's showing it.
But they've left us in no doubt that Ironside 3 can deliver the knockout blows.
In the final, they face Pulsar. This compact robot was completely redesigned for this series and has proven more competitive than its predecessor. Its 9,000 revs per minute drum was decisive against Supernova, and their brushless drive has given them an edge of speed, but at a cost of constant repairs.
Ellis is a very good driver.
Very top.
Yeah, if anybody can make it work, Ellis can do that.
This small but tough robot can take the hits, but will it be able to dish them out in tonight's final?
Some of our robots are made of simple things like wood and steel and old breadboards. Others are packed with cutting-edge components.
Tonight's final is between the next-generation technology of Pulsar and the brute strength of Ironside 3. It's the ultimate clash of brains versus brawn. But who will go through to the grand final?
The brains in the pits, the brawn in the commentary box. Pulsar against Ironside 3. They meet again, a place in the grand final at stake this time. No love lost, I can tell you. The house robot in the arena for this bout. It's Killalot and Shunt.
Roboteers, stand by.
Ironside belted by the power of their own spinner. Using a Streamac motor for speed control, Pulsar. Have they bodged it? Have they got it right?
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Oh, the arena's tense for this one. But Pulsar had enough time to repair. Could this be revenge big time for Ironside 3?
Ross drive already on
Get this wheel.
Just take your time.
Pulsar continuously moving, spinning, trying to get away. Doesn't seem to be much life in the drum. They took a hit there. Big hit from Ironside 3. That may well have stilled the beating hearts within the Pulsar. I think it has. They are now totally vulnerable. Another smash from Ironside 3's 18-kilo bar spinner. They've used that weapon well. Oh, poor old Pulsar. Haven't they worked hard to get it up and running? Whatever technique they could use, they've used. Still twitching.
We're being counted down.
Ironside 3 not waiting for a count this time. Again, they've come in with a slam. Surely they've won it, Ironside 3. And revenge is theirs. And they know it. They have long waited for this. Oh, and so the House Robots. Right from this first big hit, Pulsar were in trouble, couldn't recover. And it's Ironside's victory. Ironside through to the grand final. Worthy winners. Through adversity to triumph. How sweet is the taste of revenge.
Lovely, yes. Yes, oh, Pulsar. I feel that we saw the best of you earlier on in this show.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
What was the fight that really took it out of you?
Supernova.
The Supernova
Several
battle.
fights back, yeah. We never recovered, really.
Could you even get the drum going?
No, it twitched. And I didn't want to go any further because it might set itself on fire, so...
Yeah, but listen, it's time, I believe, will still come. I think there's much more to be got out of this. I have no doubt you'll be back. But for time being, my commiserations. You've lost, ladies. I'm giving it up for Pulsar!
I mean, this was one of those grudge matches, really. There was a bit of history here.
Yeah, we don't like the word grudge match, but we wanted to settle one way or the other.
We saw you in the control room. There was elation, there was smiles, there was cheers. A happy moment, shall we say.
Our group's been horrendous, really.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of casualties.
A lot of dangerous
robots
machines.
littered all the way around.
I genuinely think we're probably the only two left standing out of all of it, and I'm just so happy to be at the top.
You're into the grand final! Yeah. Well done. Give it up for Ironside 3, please.
I'm not surprised our teams look shell-shocked after an episode like that, but another fantastic team has made it through to our grand final, which is shaping up to an explosive end to the series. But that's all for now. Good night.
Next time on Robot Wars.
It'd be good to have another pop at Apollo, definitely.